Welcome to our scorecard instruction video. The purpose of this video is to give you insight on the proper methods of filling out our scorecard so it reduces chaos and confusion at the end of the round when you turn in your scorecards. Follow along with me as we look at some of the particular holes and how the points are awarded at the end of each round. Please notice that the card on the top is a card with a full foursome, A, B, C, and D player. The card at the bottom is a situation where there is only 3 players in the group and a blind draw is used. Before we get started, please notice there are diagonal lines drawn in the boxes of each individual player. Those lines represent strokes based on their handicap. If your handicap is 18, you will naturally have a diagonal line or stroke on every hole. You'll also notice that on the scorecard there are yellow boxes where the strokes are. That means that individual player will receive 2 strokes on that hole. Let's get started with hole number 1, which is a par 4. Player A and B parred the hole and they did not have strokes, therefore their gross score of 4 goes in the box. But player C and D had strokes. Player C scored a bogey and his net score is 4. Player D scored a par, therefore he gets a net 3 or a birdie. Therefore the best the team comes out is 1 birdie or 1 point, and that goes in the box below. As we look at hole number 2, par 4, you notice that players C and D have yellow boxes. That means they get 2 strokes on that hole. If you look at the scores, you notice the lowest of the scores is player B, a net 3. He received a birdie because he had a stroke on the hole, and therefore the best the team got there was 1 birdie or 1 point. On hole number 3, also a par 4, you'll notice that the best the team could do was a par 4 under player A's score. Therefore, the team is even and no points are awarded. So a 0 goes in the box. As we go to hole number 7 and look at that situation, you'll notice that the best net score that the team could come up with was a 6 or a bogey. Therefore, they were 1 over on that hole and lost a point. On the final hole of the front 9, everyone had strokes, and player A and player B both scored net birdies. Therefore, their team gets 2 points for both birdies. At the end of those 9 holes, the team adds up their point totals along the bottom, and they came up with 7 points for the front 9. All of the gross scores are added and they are placed under the gross score box. Do not put net scores in that box. Scoring continues in the same manner on the back side. As you noticed, the team did much better on the back side, but I want to draw your attention to hole number 16. If you'll notice, player B scored a natural birdie and he had a stroke, giving him an eagle for that hole. Also, player C scored a par, giving him a birdie. Therefore, the birdie and the eagle give them 3 points, and 3 points go in the box. At the completion of the round and you have verified all the scoring with the other members of your group, then you can record the gross scores in the final box, adding the front and the back side. Do not record net scores in the gross score box. You can also add the team points along the bottom of the scorecard. In this particular case, the front side is 7 points, back side is 13, a total of 20 points for the team. In the event that we have an odd number of players requiring a group with 3, then we will use a blind draw randomly selected by the computer for that particular group. At the completion of the round, The person who has been assigned as the blind draw to that particular team will bring his card to that team so that they can determine his scores in each particular box and whether or not he helped the team. All players should become familiar with the scorecard and the scoring procedures. And remember to turn in your scorecards immediately after the round to the scorers table.